returns on investment in the long run. If you have not planned the structure that way, if you have to convert and all that, there may be a little bit of challenges here and there. Yeah, I understand that one. But for those who are planning new investment, it's better to just make sure that from ground zero, you have a plan that ensures that energy management is at the top of the development of the structure right from design. Now, why should we have why should we be very conscious of efficiency in our in our in what in what we are doing? Okay, let me state what I've stated before in another way. Now, the other way is this: your cost of maintenance needs to be at a level where all your stakeholders are happy using the facility. There is no need creating a facility that will end up being vacant, because other people have moved in and you send them invoices for maintenance. uh, they are looking at what options they have so that they can have lower cost and uh, in that regard. And I'm saying to you that when you go, when you from ground zero ensure that you implement strategic initiatives to make your facilities efficient energy wise, you are laying a foundation for a sustainable structure. Now, these practices that we're going to discuss will create not only a future facility. You can imagine when you enter a building and the switches are all automated, the energy comes, the electricity comes on once you are in once you enter the place, and the switches will not be on until somebody is in the room, and once somebody is in the room, the switches go off. I mean, when there's nobody in the room, the switches will go off. This is how buildings are being planned today. Now, we need to be very we implement tools that are very efficient. And if we fail to do that, we are going to end up with needless costs, and we are going to end up with facilities that have huge environmental impact that may not be suitable for most of the corporates of today, because part of what they go to check out is this building green? Is it a facility able to support net zero impact on the environment? So there is a need where we need to ensure that beyond lowering cost, we continue to monitor, regulate, and optimize our usage of electricity. Okay, you may also want to ask me, is it just about cost and sustainability? I want to drive it a little bit further to say that a low carbon future is possible. And all of us that are in the environment space have a mandate to make sure that we mitigate everything that can add to negative climate change. We have to conserve as much resources as possible. We have to lower greenhouse gas emission. We have to ensure that all these, Lagos State as a policy, we have identified over 2 million uh, generators that are currently deployed all over the city. And we are saying to everybody, including all the facility managers around, join us in the battle to eliminate these generators that are spreading foul hair that are fouling our atmosphere, to create a greener and better space that is going to be a lot more sustainable. Now we are saying, beyond 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 the initial investment that we also are making in ensuring that even the generators we are using to power our street lights, we are taking them out gradually. We are trying to focus strictly already started working on ensuring that the Lagos electricity market, which I believe you are all as much as possible, a lot of infrastructure that are on the renewable side of things. Okay, so let me drill it down a little bit more. What are the advantages if I choose to get into the space and ensure that I use renewables, efficient in lightning, in the type of fuses I use, the type of pumping machines I use, and all that. Yes, I've emphasized the issue of cost savings. But remember, I normally say this. You may not like it, but I normally say it. In Nigeria, see that fuel they call diesel, it has a spirit. Even the best of popes get corrupted once diesel is on the table. And so it is better to just ensure that you take your system off it as fast as you can. And beyond the fact that it's expensive, it makes the best men to start looking at how to play one game or the other. And a lot of people have lost their job because there is one malam playing games around them, and they are not very much at home with it. So we need to eliminate the waste associated with that part of our business. We need to make sure that we streamline our processes so that on a sustainable part, you can also do the financial analysis and you can see what savings that we are making. Now, connecting directly to public source for electricity is also not cheap again. So we need to reinvest in those infrastructure to make sure that the beautiful part of it is no longer news. We have buildings on our marina that are running 247 now on renewable power. They have completely disconnected from public supply. So we need to be able to look at, and then every gain you make, I need not say also that my own house, where I'm broadcasting to you from, we are on solar. We are on solar 247. We only use the public supply as a backup. So I'm encouraging you in all that you do to look at the cost benefit. The initial cost may be much, but if you are going to gain between 300 and 500,000 monthly on an investment of between 6 million and 10 million, it simply means that within 1 2 years you have recovered your money. So there's a lot of cost savings that come from being efficient given the cost of energy today, except the exchange rate parameters and a lot of other cost factors come against. And then most of these, the other advantage is that most of these products that we can deploy on the renewable side are not necessarily new technologies. There was a time when it's risky to buy the solar product and all that, but there are established brands now that give you 1 2 years warranty. One of my uncles got a deal from one of them, and they are going to give supply in a 10 kV installation in his house he needs to pay like 200,000, 300,000 per month or something like that. And he can pay over 5 years. And I said, Uncle, bring it, sign it quickly, Now, over and above that is the fact that most of the green energy and resources that we can deploy makes us to be operationally more efficient. You may not believe it, I have not had to do any runs to go and buy diesel, not even for my house. Whereas, unlike before, the principal thing that my truck does is to go and buy diesel. And that's a trip that must be made minimum of twice in a month. Now, these are inefficiencies that we can do without. So we need to make sure that we take the advantage of the ability to improve on our productivity by using solutions that enhances our operational efficiency. Now, as a state, as Lagos, we are currently also putting together hubs for renewable energy solutions and all that. What that will do in the long run is to make sure we have center of excellence for businesses in that area, and we enhance opportunities of and productivity of industry players. Now, when you also are efficient in utilization of energy resources, your operations become sustainable beyond the SDG goals. You yourself, you will know your environment to be cleaner. If you my generator has not been on since about 2 years now, and the whole environment, even where the generator is, we have to put it on like once in a month just to make sure that we keep it warm. uh, and that's it. We just keep it on. It's the last in the hierarchy. The first connection is my solar. The next connection is the public supply from a cold disco, and then if those two fails, we still have the generator, which in the last 2 years I've only had to activate once. Now, beyond over and above that is also the resilience of our infrastructure. And once the environment is clean and all that, we are protected from quick variations in pricing, volatility in the exchange rate market, and all that. Once we install those things, you are just coasting home. You are not worrying yourself too much about that. And in our own calculation, our street lighting infrastructure has a great feature, and that is why we are we are we are we are taking that approach in that regard. So you want to say, so what do we do to ensure that the potential of energy or efficient energy management in facilities are unleashed by practitioners? What should practitioners be doing? Okay, I will say to you, let whatever you intend to do start from design stage. Let it start from design stage. Be proactive. Right from when you are thinking about doing a new project, let it be in your mind that if you are in Lagos, for instance, you are in a smart city. That is the future that we see. And if you are going to be part of this as smart city, you must deploy smart energy solutions. And within a couple of days, the government of Lagos will be announcing some incentives. And those incentives will also enhance your productivity and ensure that you are making great progress in what you are doing. Now, um, the other bit that I want us to note is the fact that when you implement this solution, you are also, it's best you take it all the way down. That means you need to have efficient lighting, efficient cooling system, smart controls, and maybe activate some advanced control also, even for your lift and all that. Most of these optimized tools, they have longer lifespan if you buy them from the right source. So then there are other there are other things you need to do. The other thing you need to do is to ensure that you do proper energy audit and benchmark your facility. If you don't benchmark properly, you might miss some few things. You might miss a few things in implementation. If you also don't do your energy audit properly, I mean, there is no need assuming that maybe you read civil or you read electrical engineering, you know how to do audit. What do? They bring one page of paper. No, let the people that have the appropriate experience do your energy audit for you. There are startup currents that they need to provide for. There are systems within your system that may pull resources from the pool, which may give you a problem if you implement wrongly. Then I also may need to emphasize the fact that your battery management system you should be able in designing, they should be able to separate your peak load, those things that happen during your peak times, and then ensure that you are able to remain sustainable with uninterrupted power, using appropriate battery banks that will ensure that when the peak load has flattened out, the system is still sustainable. Then it's important that I emphasize the fact that this is the AI world, and there's nothing you can do about it. Whatever solution you are implementing, all of them come with screens and controllers and all that. Please make sure that the data that is being generated are downloadable so that you can see it on your system, look at the data, and be able to make decisions, or ask AI to calculate that for you. And based on what the numbers that have been released to you, you can be able to understand usage, identify the trend, monitor performance, deal with gaps, and ensure that you have a sustainable solution. Because, hey, out there are 1,001 people who do not understand these solutions, and they are quick to point out, because they are quick to point out all the, sorry for my breaking into Yoruba very sharply, so now you should also be careful about your capacity. A lot of us need to go back to school. We need to go back and get appropriate training in this area. We need to make sure that we understand it. And then when you understand it, train everybody that is also in your team. Now, it's nice to learn on the job, but as much as possible, there's a new facility management was one profession that when we are starting out as surveyors, you can't be saying we can count how many of the big firms then have facility management teams. But we have surveyors today who all they do is facility management. So it's with time we're going to have a team that is also managing energy within the facility management teams, because it's a major cost center that everybody needs to be looking at. Now, you also need to be smart with integration. There are some locations you may not have enough space to put solar. You may need to integrate a couple of wind turbines and your solar panels. You may need to. There are some hydrogen solutions now. Whatever it is, make sure that the integration is done by professionals. Make sure that all your switches are properly done, and then the controls are also in place, and then you run away from the risk of any type of explosion in the process of utilization. Okay, now the second to the last thing I want to mention to you is you need to monitor performance and ensure continuous improvement. You need to measure performance and ensure continuous improvement. And the need for that cannot be overemphasized. And remember that a lot of us, we may be doing some of this for the first time. So we may do it on a scalable basis, very advisable. Um, but continuously, we must seek to optimize the energy management effort, and we must embrace the technology one step at a time. Don't jump, don't go and overscale so you don't get discouraged. Um, and you must look around and check the best practices, check what people are succeeding at and what is giving your colleagues challenges. Okay, I think in rounding up, maybe it's not too much. Let me just do a quick conversation about the various sources of that we know right now, the renewable um, energy that we know right now. You and I know about biomass, which largely is turning organic materials such as wood, crops, garbage, um, um, the toilet waste from your buildings inside anaerobic digestion can produce enough to power all your kitchens, all your all your rooms without air conditioning if properly managed. Any building where you have over 50 people coming in daily and leaving the building daily, and you are providing as a space where lunch is being served and possibly breakfast is coming in and going, you may be able to have organic waste that you can use efficiently. And we all know about wind and wind turbines. All manner of micro wind turbines are also available now. Um, Today, the benchmark is this 1 megawatt wind turbines, but all manner of micro wind turbines are available for those who have a lot of space and the wind data in your environment is good. You may want to look at assessing that, but you just like the other one, you need to do your technical, financial viability and check the social and environmental acceptability of the solution. Then solar is very popular. And I'm taking that lastly deliberately. When you collect solar thermal and convert that into electricity, in some locations, you don't need to store it. So you just use it straight away. In most locations, you store so that in the night you are able to use. Um, it's installed in parking lots, in facades, in rooftops, ground mounted systems. It's very resilient. Uh, the beauty of it is that the Lagos electricity law is going to be allowing for net metering and feed-in tariff, which means that if you have excess from your rooftop or your battery is all charged up between you and your local distribution company, you can feed in into their network, and then you can have the solution that you need at your own pace. But remember, the tilt of the panel, the orientation of the panel, impact of dust, shade, the size of your backup, the choices you make in establishing your storage facilities, all come to affect the productivity and the experience you get from using solar systems. I'm expecting to get a lot of questions from that. And well, not very popular now, but we have solutions around hydrogen. We also have some solutions that are trying to imitate reactors. They have not been widely applied around there, but I'm aware of all manner of we are doing proof of concept all around our city. So I will want to round up and say that when you manage energy right, when you deploy the right strategy, in the long run you will get lower cost. You contribute to a better air quality in your neighborhood. You promote operational efficiency. Your building will also be sustainable, and I believe strongly your rent or your returns on investment will also be better. The strategies you can adopt will basically ensure that you have energy efficient feedstock. Then you have energy efficient devices that are deployed, are being used, from your fridges to your air conditioning. They must be they call them gen pals or something, or inverter this, inverter that in our environment. You must also ensure that you monitor your usage. The beauty of energy efficiency is in being able to monitor those details and work with the outcome of those details. And then we also need to make sure that um, our staff, our children, who are the real people that will use these infrastructures, they understand the purpose, they are keyed into what needs to be done, and they cooperate. And because it's a paradigm shifting thing that you need to do for people to understand, you can't just leave lights on if you don't have smart switches yet. But something must be able to switch off everything that is in all your rooms. Then we must be able to also ensure that um, we take our time to check the numbers, the financials, before we take a final position on the best route to ensuring our facilities are most efficiently managed energy-wise. I hope I have been able to contribute to the conversations. I hope we will have found my contribution also very useful, and I hope we'll be able to promote energy conservation and implementation of cost savings initiatives in this area. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Biodun. That was quite insightful. and we really appreciate you sharing with us your knowledge and all that you are even practically doing yourself to maximize energy usage. Um, in fact, one of the things I've really enjoyed, that I really tapped into, is the fact that you have even made the solar energy, your own primary source. You know, what naturally a lot of people do is to say, okay, the supply from the grid is the primary source of energy, then the solar is the alternative source of energy for them that they switch into. But I mean, you're able to say, okay, this is your own primary source of energy, which now the power from the grid is your secondary source. And of course, then you can now say, oh, when there is no power from the grid and perhaps it has not been very sunny, then you may now want to switch on your gen, which is fantastic idea. Thank you so much for that. For all our participants, you can start dropping your questions into the chat box. I have 2 questions already that I will just quickly take. I think also maybe some of our participants will want to even see the honorable commissioner. I don't know if you are. Why I suggested that you can just go on like that is because of your network, so that we can have a stable network for the presentation. But now that it is question period, I wouldn't mind if you want to. We will not mind if you want to turn on your video so that they can see that we are privileged to have you join us today to share with us some of the things that you are sharing with us. All right. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Okay, not to, I will also have to turn on my video so that I can also, so as many of us that want to turn on our videos, please, we can do that so that we not leave our facilitator alone on this. All right, thank you so much once again. So I want to just quickly take some few questions from that we have on the chat box. I have also some questions that I want to ask. All right. So one of the questions says, "Sir, I would like to draw your attention to the biomass generated daily in some of the abattoirs or slaughters houses in Lagos that are and untapped and explored to generate energy. Biogas is as good as any gas to run the generator and provide heating and electricity that could replace fossil fuel. This has not been explored and deployed." So I guess what this person is asking is, what are we doing to tap into these areas so that we can explore all of this biogas that had been just been wasted at all of these slaughtered houses and abattoirs. So what are we doing? Is there any plan to explore this option and to deploy all of this option? I guess that is the question that this person is trying to ask. Do you get my question, sir? Do you get the question, sir? I can't really hear you, sir. I can't really hear you, sir.
Sorry, I forgot I
Okay.
was muted. Do you want to
All
take a
right.
number of questions so that I can take them together? Or
Okay, that's fine. I can take all the questions together. That's fine. All right. Okay. So the other question, he said, apart from apart from the OEM policies, is there any other framework that detail how these new renewable energy sources can end-to-end be implemented with relation to mass energy consumption for the masses, integration, design, deployment, operation, and disposal, vis-a-vis security and financial aspects? Thank you, sir. Okay, so that's another question. I'm trying to figure out exactly the person's question, but I'm sure you can get what this person is asking there. as a question. All right. So you can take these two questions, sir, while we expect other questions before we proceed. All right. Okay. Don't worry. Let me take two other questions that I have already, so that I'll add it to the three. I mean, that we add it to the two that we have. The other question is nuclear power sustainable? Is nuclear power sustainable energy? That's the question. Is nuclear power sustainable energy? Okay. The other question is, many thanks, sir, for your presentation. I'd like to ask if there's any platform available to showcase one's energy, that is renewable solution, that needs funding for completion and scaling. So this person is asking, this is from Dr. Olumide, I know, if there is a platform to showcase one's product for renewable energy solution, that is that can help for funding, especially. Yeah. All right. The other question again is, thank you, sir, for this insightful presentation. Sir, is there any training by Lagos State government on energy audits and management? All right. Okay. So the other question.
Hold on.
All right, sir.
Hold on. After the nuclear, what was the next question?
The next question is, the person is asking if there is a platform by Lagos State to showcase renewable energy solution that needs funding and scaling. So if Lagos State is providing a platform where people can come around and showcase some of their products and services, that especially the ones that needs funding and all of that.
Okay, next one.
Okay, the next one is there is any training by Lagos State government on energy audits and management? You spoke about energy management and embracing technology. You also spoke about the fact that people need to gain knowledge. They need to understand how to manage their energy, and especially in relation to data and all of that. So this person is asking if there's a training for energy audits, whereby facility management or people that are practicing can tap into. All right, can I go on, sir?
Let me take these 6.
Okay, all right, that's fine. Go ahead, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, it's actually 5 of them. Okay, slaughter, my 12 are all examples of great opportunities we have as a city for biogas, biofuel. Both of them have had a couple of projects done in time past. We are trying to reactivate those projects. And now that is a must focus for us. We're trying to make sure that we bring them back to life sustainably. Those projects were launched in some parts by previous administration, but I'm assuring you that we are looking deeply at them, and we are trying to see how we can make them something that will be of daily application, contributing to the energy mix for the city. That's for question number 1. Question number 2, end-to-end solution, technical, financial, and well, in a couple of days, the governor of Lagos will sign the law for the Lagos electricity market. When that law is signed, embedded in that law is the solution for financial administration of the market. Because when people pay for the supply, the money must get to those who generated the supply. And we must have a band for against which we cannot but ensure that all market participants get the reward that is due to them. Be assured that the Lagos Electricity Market will not carry any debt, neither will it carry any burden. The market must clear, and everyone that is participating in the market should be able to sustainably say this is where the flows are. So it's only a couple of days. We are going to see the part of that market. Is nuclear energy sustainable? Yes, yes, yes. In the places where nuclear is deployed, is sustainable. But if what you wanted to ask is whether nuclear energy is renewable, well, if your definition of renewable energy is um, something or feedstock that you're not going to be having to look for so much resources to be able to you're not looking for resources to be able to recharge or like fuel or something. Yeah, yes, it is also a renewable resources. I think in case my host didn't get your question right, the other thing you may want to ask is in that regard. Now, platform to showcase renewable energy solutions needing funding. Okay, this is what I would suggest, sir. Please find time to come into the office. Maybe we need to create this. We may not have this on the table now. The one we tried the other time to create a metering solution, there are some stories about it. So this is a challenge that I would love to take up. Thank you very much for bringing it up. Number five, yes, we have our electricity board. They have a training arm there. We will ensure that we incorporate whatever it is that we are doing to include training related matters. All right, that works. Oh yeah, let's take the next set of questions.
All right, thank you, sir. All right, so another question that I have is also that if is there a plan for, especially because of the economy, current economy of the nation, a lot of people cannot even afford the known renewable energy, which is solar, right? To say, oh, okay, let me even have some panel, I mean, over my roof so that I can have that as an alternative source of energy. So, is there an opportunity? Is there a platform where people can say, okay, by Lagos State to say we want to tap into and pay maybe installments, or to just get a loan after some time and they can be making payment provided they have a stable income? Is that option on the table from Lagos State? Are they partnering with any organization to look into from Lagos State? Is that on the table? All right. I think for now that's the only question that I have.
Okay, now why must Lagos State be the one providing the payment solution when there are companies that are providing interest free the payment solution? The reason why people want to do Lagos State is once it's government, they'll be one with GPT there, or they think government wake up one day and cancel all the debt. No, we are creating leaner, smarter governance. I I plead with you. Uh, I don't want to advertise for any company, but I know at least a company around that liquid industrial estate. They are massive.
Fine.
Uh,
Mommy is
they
not
will
around. Mommy
they
is
are
not around.
massive, and
You
they will
don't come.
support your
Hello, how are
acquisition
you?
and They whatever invoices they even close with you today, they will use
next.
that same figure over 5 years. Somebody is disturbing us here. Okay.
I just
Are
muted
we
the person. I've muted.
okay? So that's all I know about that one. Don't Government cannot be everywhere. It's most of the time when government gets involved in a lot of these activities, it's always too large government can be very challenging. So if the private sector is already doing it very efficiently, why don't we support that person that's doing it efficiently?
All right. Thank you, sir, for doing justice to all of these questions. We really appreciate your time. Um, on the chat box, we currently do not have any question again on the chat box. So
Okay, thank you very much.
okay,
Such a great time with you guys. I hope we've added some value, and I look forward to further engagement with the Facility Management Association. I hope I got the name right.
yes, sir. Okay,
Okay.
so I think I have one more question here, if you do not mind, sir. And this will be the last question. Okay, someone say, we really appreciate, thank you, sir. We really appreciate you, sir. But will everybody be able to afford the price? Well, Lagos State has just told us they are not ready to do that. So uh, I think, yes, everybody might not be able to afford it, but they can get maybe a plan that might help. So, I mean, the Honorable Commissioner just told us that Lagos State is not looking into that. So I'll skip that question. Okay, someone said, thank you, sir, for your presentation, sir. Our state government yesterday with a renewable energy expert in Port Harcourt using a biogas to generate two, 200 megawatts daily of power. How will this impact on the life of people and create jobs for FM in this region? Okay. Uh, do you get the question, sir?
No.
So I think this person is asking how the biogas that was just created in Port Harcourt, how it will impact the life of people and create jobs for the FM in the region.
Okay, the first thing you need to check is what is the feedstock for the biogas plant. If you can track the feedstock for the biogas plant, then you can track what jobs, what opportunities are there in. I don't know if I'm making sense to you.
Yes, yes.
Take for
Mm.
instance, is the biogas is using waste from um, abattoir. All right, so it means that every abattoir in town is a potential place where you can be making cheap money. Is how to make your bowls and bags that will be used to collect whatever it is that they want, and make sure that they have good devices to weigh it in, and the frequency of their payment to you. You are in business.
Mm. Mm. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Mm. Thank you so much, sir, for your time. We really appreciate your time with us today. We know that it's a privilege for you joining us today, and we are saying thank you so much from all the executive member of Association of Facility Management Practitioner of Nigeria. We appreciate your time. We appreciate sharing your knowledge with us, and
Mm.
we hope that we'll be able to give us other opportunities like this in future to share with us, maybe in our conferences, maybe a platform, a training, and we hope to have that with you in future. Thank you so much, sir. We are aware that you need to go now. We appreciate you, sir. So, what just your last word for us? What would you just your advice that you want to give to facility managers, and your last word for us?
Last word. Thank you. How about that for a last word? Uh,
All right, sir. All
okay,
right, sir.
okay, hold
Thank you
on,
so
hold
much,
on,
sir. We appreciate it.
hold on, hold on, hold on, hold
All
on.
right, sir. Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay. The future belongs to those who dare to take risk.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Whatever risk you take on new sources of energy today
Mm,
might be a breakthrough you never even imagined. It
mm,
can be as simple as solar powered pumps for your water. It can be as complicated as let's strip this whole building, let's get it to be more efficient. And you are introducing specific tools to manage the critical loads. It can
mm,
even be as complicated as no, not just critical load. We want to do the whole building. We must have an efficient building. And hey, you
mm.
get the proper people to work on it. At the end of the day, when you look back several years after and systematically you have gotten it done, you will not only be gaining on account of cost savings, you will also have created facilities that are sustainable. And you have also will also be making a mark as a professional in your own field too. All right, thank you very much. It was a great pleasure being here. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. We appreciate your wealth of knowledge sharing with us. Thank you, and have a lovely evening, sir.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye bye.
All right. Yeah. Bye, sir. So, to the rest of the participants, on behalf of the NEC, the president, the vice president, and every member of the NEC, we appreciate you for joining today's webinar. And I'm sure you have been impacted. You have learned something new. For me, one of the things that I've learned today is that why don't I build more capacity and make that capacity for renewable energy my primary source and have supply from the grid as a alternative source of power. Yes, and yeah, it might be expensive, but in the long run, it's profit. All right, thank you. I'm sure you've learned other things too, and we appreciate you all for joining today. Um, I don't know if there's anything that we need to. Uh, Mr. Femi, are you here? I think the president is on the webinar. I don't know if the president or the vice president has anything to say, so that we can take it in next 1 minute. If there's any other announcements in next 1 minute.
The president is on the call. If he's not there, our vice president, Dr. Lude, the president is on the call.
No, no, I am here. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Honorable Commissioner, for this extensive detailed coverage of the topic. I see that we have a very good showing of our members at this webinar. I hope we'll be able to put it to use